Everyone appreciates the extra income and a few extra dollars. The question is what side hustle to choose so that it doesn't take up all the free time you have left after your main job and make the earnings worth it. Today we'll look at the side hustle options for tech enthusiasts. I like the area around technology. It offers so many opportunities and high pay, so a nice ratio of time spent working to money earned. I'll discuss a few hot tips I've gone through myself that hide high earning potential for relatively little effort. Glad you visited the Invest with Jiri channel. I deal with everything about money here, from earning to saving to investing. I try to pass on my experience here so you can handle your money better. If you are interested in the topic of side hustle, give the video a like, and so you don't miss my other videos, click on subscribe and bell. Here we go. How are technical side hustles priced? The above examples of side hustle from technical fields offer earnings ranging from $65 to $80 per hour. It just depends on your time and ability to negotiate interesting money in your particular field. Who are the selected side hustles for? All the side hustle tips in this video you can do for your clients individually or as a complete service similar to if you were a media agency. Like I said, it's up to your skills and the time you can dedicate to it. As an essential skill in the technological world, web development is undoubtedly. As a web developer, you can work on a variety of projects, from creating simple corporate websites to more complex e-commerce platforms. Basically, you have two choices. Use pre-made website builders, Wix, Squarespace, Shopify or GoDaddy. You simply click on the look you want, the name of the site, the individual page layouts and the site is ready. Or you create websites in WordPress. This is a more complicated option, but again, you will understand web development more in depth. In WordPress, you choose the look and functionality you need. You can also download extensions to improve usability for visitors. Many web hosts that will run your site offer to install WordPress automatically. Of course, there is also the option of creating a website using pure HTML, CSS and JavaScript. I wouldn't recommend this route though, it's unnecessarily lengthy and you will probably never be able to get to the level offered by a well-written WordPress. I can recommend the w3schools.com website for this, which is a tutorial for many coding and programming languages. What do you need to get started? To start a website, you need to buy a domain and hosting. Try GoDaddy or similar services. Create your own portfolio of websites and offer it as a reference. I've made dozens of websites myself using pure HTML and dozens of websites in WordPress. The possibilities are endless today. How much can you earn as a web developer? Of course, it depends on many circumstances such as experience and skills. But you can roughly count on an hourly rate of $80. As you get better and have more references, the price of your services goes up with it. A related activity to web development is web design. The look and feel of a website is crucial for a client. After all, it is the first impression of the visitor, potential client, and it should be as good as possible. The job of a web designer is to create visually attractive and user-friendly websites. Design includes the choice of colors, typography, the layout of elements on the page, and the overall aesthetic impression that the site gives. This activity offers creative freedom as you can exercise your artistic vision and creativity. In what areas can you apply web design? You can work on personal or corporate websites, specialized blogs, online magazines or e-commerce platforms. Here and there you may get a request to create a design for the appearance of an internal system. If you get outside of web design, you could use graphics in advertising on billboards, banners and creative offers. There are a lot of possibilities. What are the basic skills of a web designer? It's important to note that in addition to design skills, a web designer should also know the basics of user interface, UI and user experience, UX, which will contribute to creating a feature-rich and user-friendly site. How much does a web designer earn? Gradually building a portfolio of graphic designs and building a satisfied client base can mean a pay rise for your side hustle. In the early days of your job, however, you can expect to earn around $70 per hour. Copywriting or custom writing. The next step to creating a functional web presentation is text. Copywriting is the art of writing compelling content that appeals to the target audience and motivates them to take action. This activity offers the opportunity to use your writing and communication skills to create effective content for a myriad of client needs. Is it possible to compete in copywriting in the age of ChatGPT? Today AI can write text on its own on any topic. That's why it can be hard to stand out in the copywriting industry. But from what I've seen, many copywriting requests are still looking for text written exclusively by humans. They emphasize the copywriter's deep knowledge of the topic and personal approach and consistency of message form. This can be a problem for AI chatbots and conversely an advantage for humans. Where can your text be used in the online environment? As a copywriter, you can write text for websites, product microsites, product descriptions, advertising texts, or email campaigns for specialized e-shops. You can also write text for how-to guides, text for social networks, or text for internal company communication. There are many possibilities. What skills will copywriting require of you? Your ability to express ideas clearly and engagingly can help build your brand and reach your target audience. Copywriting requires not only creativity but also the ability to understand your client's needs and wants and translate them into words. How much can a copywriter earn? Once you get good enough at copywriting that someone will pay you for it, you can get paid around $60 per hour. The amount of pay will be based on your expertise, references, and the quality of your submitted texts. The third side hustle for tech enthusiasts is SEO optimization. SEO, search engine optimization, helps businesses increase their visibility on search engines like Google and Bing. The work involves analyzing the keywords of the selected website, creating quality content, and improving the technical aspects of the site to achieve high rankings in search results. This includes building backlinks that will lead to the client's website. Your job will also include reporting on the keyword positions that you handle for the client. What are the advantages of long-term cooperation in SEO optimization? It is a long-term task that requires patience and knowledge in the field. It can take 6 months or more for your work to show. However, if you can find a way that works on search engines, you can partner with many companies at once and build your side hustle on monthly fixed payments. Once you've racked up enough clients, you could be on to some very interesting money. What is the hourly rate in SEO optimization? In case you work for an hourly rate, you can expect $65. However, I would do it differently. I would base my work on a fixed monthly amount per keyword and add a reward for meeting a set goal. For example, improving the rankings of at least 5 keywords out of the 20 I take care of. This would end a list of potential side hustles in the tech industry. As I said in the introduction of the video, each of the individual areas builds on the next, and if we were to look at any digital agency, we would probably find all the side hustles mentioned, and many more like social media management, ad campaign management, e-shop creation, app programming, and so on. Where is the best place to look for jobs as a web developer, designer, copywriter, sales consultant, and more? One of the best sites is Upwork.com, where many companies are looking for quick help cluster, and on the other hand, there are many freelancers who provide their services. What can you find on Upwork? There are inquiries for all the activities I discuss in today's video. Clients can make decisions based on the contractor's rating and on price. That's why it's important to register here and start working on your profile. Once you get a positive rating and price performance match, you have almost unlimited work options. I also know several freelancers who are doing business on Upwork. They started as small freelancers, registered and gradually built their profile. Eventually they had so many inquiries that they started employing their friends and other freelancers until they built a business that works nicely to this day. What are some other places to look for requests for your work? There are a huge number of other sites on the internet that offer inquiries around website-related services. For example, Fiverr, TopTal, Jubal, Freelancer.com, FlexJobs, Simply Hired, Guru. I'd like to end today's video with this list. There are a lot of jobs you can do online, and if you're not familiar with the industry, it's not a problem at all in today's video age. Open up YouTube, type in a few keywords like how to create website or how to make quality SEO for website, and you immediately have hundreds of tutorials to guide you through everything you need to do. Thanks so much for watching to the end of the video. If you found something interesting here, please give the video a like, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Have fun and don't be afraid to try something new.